Hey guys, it's Tarkhan. I'm back with another viewer comment video. Now, judging from your comments, these seem to be very popular, and I have a lot of fun doing them. So I'm going to continue doing this series, along with other videos talking about more specific subjects. But before I get into these, I want to make a quick couple of announcements. I do have email coaching packages available now. So you can go and purchase a package. They come in several tiers, and that's all explained on the website. And you'll have an opportunity to have one-on-one email coaching with me. I've been getting so many of your lovely emails, and I wish I could respond to all of them. And it's proven to be very time-consuming, and I still want to encourage you to write me. And I will, pick and choose ones that I think are going to be good for inclusion in future videos and in the podcast series. So I'm still going to continue to do that. But if you write me just on the fly, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to get back to you on each one of those, because it's just been so many. And I do love getting them, so keep them coming, please. But yeah, my time is I'm starting to feel a little spread thin with all the other things I have going on in my life right now. So, but I do want to give the opportunity for one-on-one attention to people that really want it. And you can head over to the website, manifestation.lab.com, and there's a link down below. And hit the coaching link in the top menu, and you'll be able to, there's all the information in there that you'll need to know. Just make sure you read that carefully. And yeah, so hopefully you guys will take advantage of that. Another quick announcement, is I want to start a Facebook group, because I realize there's a lot of you guys that are coming in and there's some questions to each other. Hey, how'd you do this? And I want to hear success stories. And I think it's a good idea to create a place for everybody to kind of come together and be able to discuss their techniques, what works, what doesn't work, their stories, ask their questions of each other, and to kind of create a nice community where people can, nice, positive, encouraging, supportive community where people can discuss these issues as much as they want. So that's the Facebook group. That's different from the page, and I'm still trying to, see what role each plays in this whole scheme of things. But please consider joining that, and the link again is down below in the description box. Just scroll down, it's somewhere towards the bottom, I think, with all the social media stuff. And also, I want to give a shout out to Veronique. Thank you for the tip. That was incredibly generous of you, and it made me very happy. So thank you for that. And also for anybody that wants to leave me a tip, and any amount is fine. There are two links down below. There's a PayPal link and there's a Cash App link. So whichever one you prefer. Think of them as tip jars, whichever one you prefer. Or it's a piggy bank, who knows. But yeah, you'll find that in the description box as well. And thank you in advance, and thank you again, Veronique. That was awesome. So, all right. So let's get down to business here. We have a comment here from Paula Branch, and I'll read it briefly. Hey, Tarkhan, great video. Thank you. Please, can you help clear this up for me? So I manifested my SP back, my specific person, while working on myself. First of all, congratulations. That's amazing. You did it. So, and please let us know how you did it, because Barbara asked you in a reply to your comment, how'd you do it? We would all love to hear how you did it. So first of all, celebrate. Yes, you did it. That's amazing. So, but she continues, he came back, but there are still a lot of issues which could cause a rift between us. So what are you focusing on here? You've got your SP, right? You've got your SP back. You've got your X back. But now right away you're focusing on potential issues. And the word could is very revealing there, isn't it? Because you're not really saying there are a lot of issues and problems going on. You're saying there could be a rift between us. There are things that could cause problems down the road. So again, what are you focusing on here? All right, be aware of this. And notice that, when I read these comments, I'm able to look at that objectively and see the language that you're using, which maybe you're not able to see yourself as you're writing it out and you're thinking, oh, and you're in it emotionally and you're kind of in your head. You know, one of the great things about this and approaching somebody else with this, a third party with this, in this kind of space and environment that we have going on here on the channel, is that that person can look at things more objectively and can kind of point out to you where your vibration seems to be lying and where your focus seems to be lying, right? So right now, right away, you say I manifested my ex back, but you're not really celebrating. Right away, you're anticipating problems, all right? So make sure you understand that, you see that and recognize that. It's very important, okay? So my question is, can I alter things between us, i.e. improve them? One of them being easy communication and confidence in myself within the relationship. Absolutely you can. And you know, I want you to go back and I want you to tell us in detail, if you can, if you take the time, how you did this, how you manifested your specific person back. And the reason, part of the reason I want you to do that, not just for the sake of everybody else, but also for your own sake, because I want you to kind of shift your focus back to that, to what you did and how you felt and how it happened. Because when you focus on your successes rather than your failures or potential failures or problems, then you're getting yourself back in the mindset and the focus of succeeding and making things that you want to come about rather than things that you don't want come about. Okay? So I want you to think about how you did it and celebrate that and feel good about it and milk it, and focus much less on the problems that you're anticipating, all right? And again, yes, you can, if there are problems, and there are going to be issues that come up in any relationship, all right? That's unavoidable. The question is, and the thing is, how do we deal with them? How do we react to them? What you're changing here in yourself and becoming a more powerful manifester is that you are going to become much more in control of your thought process, your reaction to things, and your focus. Remember, it's not about them at all. It's always about you, okay? So if you're focusing on problems, problems are going to get back. That's what's going to get reflected back to you, okay? If there are communication problems, think about where that block is within you. Where do you have blocks around communication? Where do you have blocks around confidence? Remember, it's not about changing them. It's about making yourself the better version of you. So yes, this process of becoming the best version of you that you can become doesn't end just because you're now with your specific person. You're back with them and you've manifested them, and that's amazing. But this process continues for you, and it continues for all of us. And I think that's a lifelong thing that we're going to do. But as we do it, as the universe continues to give us opportunities to improve and improve and improve and improve and improve, and to hone our skills and to better control our focus and our vibration and our emotions and our reaction to things, it becomes easier. So see this, whatever you are anticipating as problems, see them as opportunities, right? Because that's exactly what they are. So, can I keep adding to the relationship and make it better and better as I go along? Absolutely. Every relationship, including the one with yourself, is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing project. Consider your whole life being an ongoing project, right? You're here to work on these things. And everything that comes up, like I've already mentioned, is an opportunity to do that. So, and including this, all right? So, shift your focus back to how you were vibrating and what you were doing when you attracted them back. And keep your focus on that. And in the meantime, yes, continue to work on your inner space, your inner self, your inner state of being. Don't worry about what they're doing so much. The reflection, as you improve and as you become more comfortable with yourself, that will get reflected back to you, not just from your significant other, not just from your specific person, but from everybody else in your life and from every circumstance in your life, okay? So, great question, Paula. I hope that helps you out. And yes, please let us know how you did it. Everybody wants to know, right? Okay, so let's move on. I got to scroll a little bit here. Okay, we have a comment here from, now I'm going to slaughter this probably, 𝗙់𝗵𝗶𝗆. I think that's how you pronounce it. Let me know if I did that correctly. So, 𝗙់𝗵𝗶𝗆 writes, how do you feel about attracting a specific person but occasionally questioning? Well, I don't feel great about that at all. But all right, I'll continue. Like questioning if you are really meant to be together. Well, that's showing you where your blocks are and where your resistance is around the issue of attracting your specific person. That's showing you exactly what your belief is about this. Again, and I was saying this to Paula, you're anticipating, you're doubting whether it's possible, you're doubting, and if you're doubting whether you want it, well, that's a legitimate doubt. I mean, that comes up a lot in manifesting, especially when we're trying to manifest relationships with other people. Often in that process, the question comes up, do I still want this, right? You have to sit down and become very clear about that. And if you do if you do accept and if you do come to the conclusion that you still want this very much, then you need to look at the blocks. And what happens is often is that these questions come up as a way for us to deal with them. So as we are focusing on our desire and we become very clear about it, and even if we vibrate very highly for a while about it, seeming issues and blockages will come up because it's a way for the universe to kind of tell us, hey, this thing is already done. It's coming your way, but you need to kind of get yourself ready for it. And you're not ready for it. And we see this issue and this issue and this issue coming up, right? And for you to kind of move past. So consider this questioning and this doubt that you have as, again, an opportunity for you to deal with your blockages and your belief systems about this thing. So it's a good thing that this is happening. It can feel like a bad thing. It can feel like, I'm not, why am I not focusing and why am I have all these doubts? Don't become frustrated about it. See it as an opportunity to get you closer to where you need to be to get what you want, right? So it's a good thing that these things are coming up. Otherwise, you would never know to deal with them. And you might manifest a relationship and suddenly they come up and you have to deal with them then. So deal with them now, right? Try to get around what it is that's blocking you, why you're having doubts and questions about it. What do you really want? Maybe you're not that clear about it. So this is a great opportunity for you to clear that up inside yourself. Sit down and make a list and be very specific about what it is you exactly want out of this relationship. Visualize each point. Try to feel it, right? And if there's resistance coming up and you're trying to feel it, then maybe that's something you don't really want, right? Sometimes we have to kind of get up in here and figure out what it is we really want. It seems easy. Of course I want that, but it's not usually an of course. It's not always an of course, right, situation. Most of us really have no idea what we want. And that comes down to us getting to know who we are much better, getting to know ourselves much better, right? Anyway, I have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze. Welcome to the club. And then she laughs. You laugh because you said, I wrote this before I saw the comments about overthinking, overanalyzing. But you continue. Does this negate all the work I've been doing towards attracting this person? Absolutely not. And like I just said, this is actually showing you forward movement. This is actually showing you progress. All right? And that's very important. When issues come up, that's showing you progress because they're coming up for you to move past them so that you can propel forward, right? So be thankful and grateful for these things coming up and for the doubts and questions and obstacles to come up because you have to know they're there in order for you to deal with them, right? So I always say, if you're vibrating for a while and you're focused for a while and you're clear about what you want and you seem to be moving forward and suddenly an obstacle comes up or a doubt comes up, be thankful, be grateful for it, see it as a positive opportunity to deal with it, get it the hell out of the way so that you can move forward, right? Don't see it as a problem. See it as something for you to, see it as a blockage for you to clear up, right? So also adding on to this question, I know that law of attraction doesn't know time or distance, but realistically, shouldn't fixing relationships or attracting back an ex when they are in a better space take a little bit of time? So first of all, you're waiting for them to be in a better space to have a better relationship with them. You're waiting for them to change to make you happy and more comfortable with the idea of a relationship with them. They don't need to change. It's not their job to make you happy. And I say this again and again, and I'll keep repeating it because it's an important point. It's your job to make you happy. And if they're coming at you with problems, then those are reflections of something going on inside of you, some blockage or outmoded belief system going on inside of you, or some doubt that you have, or some fear that you have, some worry that you have, some insecurity that you have. Those are all things reflecting that back to you that's going on inside of you, okay? So it's not their job to change. And if you're going to wait for them to be perfectly happy in their life, to be back in a relationship with them, guess what? You're going to be waiting a long time, okay? So it's your job to work on your state, your inner self, to make yourself the best version of yourself that you can, right? And it's their job to do that for themselves. And then at some point you come together and you complement each other, right? That's how it works. But you also asked about time and space. So let me explain a little bit something. And somebody else that I watched or listened to or read used this term, and I really like it. And I'm paraphrasing, I might be slaughtering it, but it's the idea of the natural bridge. What is it? The natural bridge of events that unfolds in life. So I've spoken a lot about quantum shifting and quantum leaping, and that there are multiple realities, and that there are realities in which what you desire, that the version of you is living that out in that reality, and that all you need to do is switch your awareness to that reality, and then it will come about. But I want to be clear about this, because you don't want it to just come about like that. I mean, actual quantum jumping can be quite disorienting and really confusing and not that pleasant. And Abraham Hicks says this a lot. You don't want that. You know, if you think of a pink elephant, it suddenly appears in your living room. That's not too much fun, is it? So you want this buffer of time, this natural bridge of events, to bridge you to that other reality, and that's what's going to happen. And of course, in your ego mind, in the mind that's kind of in the, within the five senses and within the environment, it's going to seem like a lot of time is passing. But in the real sort of sense of how things unfold naturally in our universe and how we do shift from reality to reality, there is a natural bridge of events that has to unfold in order to get you to that point gradually and comfortably. All right. So yes, and that's, they're not going to call you because you want to be married to them. They're not going to call you tomorrow and say, hey, let's get married. Let's say it's been months since you've spoken to them, or you just broke up a few weeks ago, or maybe they don't even know you like them. That's obviously, that would be kind of ridiculous, right? I mean, gee, and imagine that happening. How would you really feel about that? That would feel kind of weird, wouldn't it? That'd be kind of strange. What do you mean you want to marry me? We haven't spoken in 6 months. What the hell? So consider that as, again, as a positive thing, all right? You want that. And what's going to happen is they might text you and say, hey, how's it going? How you been? And then you answer and you have a little chit chat, and you don't hear again from them for a few weeks or months. You might text them, and they might go, oh yeah, hey, nice, nice, nice. And you might not immediately go, oh God, they're not throwing their love at me. They're not expressing their love, undying love for me. And then you feel bad about it because you expected more. Think of it, every relationship has a natural progression to it, right? Maybe you go on a date, you're going to have to get to know each other. If this is an ex, you're going to have to get to know each other again, because remember, you're not manifesting the old relationship, you're manifesting a brand new relationship. So you have to get to know each other again, and you have to go through the dating process, and you have to kind of, let it happen organically and naturally. And that part is going to take patience, but see it as a fun process too. I mean, dating and getting to know each other, that's a fun thing. That's a lovely thing. That's one of the best things about relationships, right? So don't see the time or distance thing as a problem. First of all, distance doesn't matter at all, okay? There is no distance, and really there is no time. But time is a concept that we construct when we come into this realm to make things easier for us. There's a little bit of resistance, a little bit of pushback between, conceiving the thing and receiving the thing, that has to be there in order for our sort of monkey brain to kind of be able to process everything, right? Look, everything from here, my hand, I've got it's sunny outside behind me. So my hand is over here, and I'm gradually moving it through different realities to get it to come over here. That's a gradual thing. But if I had my hand here, and then boom, suddenly it showed up over here, that'd be kind of seem like magic, right? So there's this natural progression, if that makes sense, if my little demonstration is making sense to everybody. There's this natural flow, like a film roll, right? Where my hand seems to be moving through time and space, but really it's a different hand at each moment, right? It's its own little reality at each moment, where my hand is here, my hand is here, my hand is here. But it gets stitched together in order to create this illusion of flow to us, because it's just easier for us to function in this environment this way. And so it is for everything that you desire and want to manifest in your life, right? It's very important to understand and embrace and see it as a good thing, all right? Also, that buffer of time allows you to become more and more clear about what you want. And again, it seems like you're questioning whether you still want this or not. So think of it as a good thing that you have this time in order to be able to do that, and in order to be able to sit down with yourself and become really clear. Because what you want is going to change too, as you change and as you have other experiences and as you meet other people, and maybe you date other people in between the time that you realize you want your SB back and you actually are back with them. You're going to have other experiences, and so are they. So you're going to change, and you're going to have the opportunity through that natural buffer of time to be able to sort of tailor your desire and your manifestation, right, along the way. So allow for that and see it as a good thing. Anyway, I hope that helps you. I think that answers every part of your comment, and I hope that's not confusing. And again, if you have questions, then, please ask me to clear something up, and I will. I will do my best. So thank you, 𝗙់𝗿 if I didn't slaughter that. I want to say bruja because it seems like bruja, right? Is that a medicine woman, I think? Seems Spanish. Anyway, so moving along. Let's see. I think there were a couple more here. Oh yeah, Magnetic Girl. Hi Tarkon, thanks for this video. Does this work for a love avoidant too? My ex panicked when our connection became too close and I became too clingy. Well, that can happen if you are being too clingy and you want something to happen too quickly. That can absolutely happen, and I've spoken about this as well. And again, a lot of times, in fact, most of the time in what I see in these comments and the emails I get and just people in general when they talk about their relationships and their relationship issues, is that they expect the other person to make them happy, and that they're not going to be happy unless that person is in their life, is with them 24/7, is constantly on the phone with them, constantly texting with them, and devotes all their waking hours to them. Again, that's something going on inside of you where you feel you don't have enough power, enough self-love to make yourself happy, that you need this other person to fill that slot for you. And that's giving them your power, and it's also giving them an assignment or a power, if you will, that's not theirs. Doesn't belong to them. It's impossible for them to make you happy. It's your job to make yourself happy. So ask yourself, why am I, if it's true that you were being clingy, and it sounds like you're saying that maybe that's what happened. They panicked because, of course, wouldn't you panic, right? If somebody came up to you and gave you all their power, all the responsibility for making them happy, how would that make you feel? So sometimes it's about being honest about our behavior and being honest about the source of that behavior. So usually that comes out of a place of very deep dissatisfaction with self and distrust that you are able to provide that happiness for yourself. And part of what we're doing here, and part of becoming a manifester and a powerful creator, is to develop that as a skill, is to understand yourself as powerful, and that your power, the power to create in your life and the power to make you happy, does not lie with other people. It lies with you. Now, that's both a very liberating realization to make, and also kind of terrifying, isn't it? Because if you're used to living your life according to other people making you happy, and that responsibility being on other people, it can feel like a little bit of a withdrawal, if you will, to kind of say, oh, it's all about me, it's all on me to make myself happy. It can seem a little daunting, but also at the same time, it's a very liberating thing, and that's ultimately the state that you want to achieve. So it's not their responsibility to make you happy, and in fact, again, is that attractive energy. And I've said this before, if we want to attract something or someone, we have to become attractive to it. But if we're running after it, and this is not just people, by the way, this is anything you want. This is money too, because it's the same energetic kind of formula. If you're running after it, it's going to run away from you. If you're chasing it, it's going to run away from you. If you stand still, you become a magnet to it. It wants to be near you, right? Because you radiate power and energy and love for yourself, right? things want to be around you, people want to be around you, so you become attractive to the thing that you want. But if you're chasing it, if you're frustrated about it, if you're worried you're going to lose it, you become the opposite of attractive to it. You become repellent to it, right? So be aware of that of those two energies, all right? And your behavior in the relationship or in any part of your life is your clue into which way you're vibrating, right? Are you vibrating more on the attractive spectrum of things and more on the repellent spectrum of things, all right? So this is a reflection. Again, it's a reflection. Your ex's panicked reaction to you seemingly being clingy is reflecting to you how your behavior is blocking you from getting the things that you want, right? So you have blocking energy going on there, and that's for you to kind of figure out and fix, not for him or her, or whoever. Take a breath, Targon. All right. I don't have any negative feelings for him at the moment, but you do place a lot of power and a lot of responsibility on him to make you happy. So your negative feelings may not be towards him, but they are in some way towards yourself, because you don't trust yourself to make yourself happy. You want to give that power to somebody else, and it's never going to work that way. You'll never ultimately be happy that way. Those relationships will always fall apart. And then you'll sit there and wonder what happened. So, I don't want to be hard on you, but I'm here to kind of show you that and tell you, because as a coach, that's what I'm going to do. I'm sometimes going to tell you shit that you don't want to hear, and it's going to seem a little uncomfortable. But yes, your behavior is reflecting back to you. And his behavior as well, by the way, towards you is reflecting back to you where you're lacking in an understanding and a trust in your own power to make yourself happy. It's your responsibility. And the moment you realize that, you begin to develop those skills, your life does become better. Things turn around. Your relationships become better as your relationship with yourself improves, okay? And that's a promise. But he still doesn't initiate contact. Again, you're waiting for him to do something so that you can feel good about yourself, so that you can feel better about the situation. You're looking for him to give you relief. But the relief part of this is about you. It's got to come from you. And this is the skill that you have to develop in this process, right? So again, like I've told the other viewers, see this as an opportunity. See this as a good thing, that it's making you aware of where you have your blockages, where you're sort of, kind of fallen. I don't want to say, you're not failing, but you're sort of, you're almost avoiding your manifestation. You're almost pushing it kind of further down the road, because you're not looking at where the source of all this is, which is inside of you, your state of being, and your self-worth, your sense of self-worth, and how you view yourself in the world. All right? Okay. Anyway, hope that helps. Magnetic Girl. I like that name, by the way. Magnetic Girl. See, that's what you want to become. You want to become a magnet. You want to become magnetic. Chasing and clinging are not magnetic. In other words, they're not attractive qualities. They don't attract the things that you want. They keep them away. They are repellent. So be magnetic, Magnetic Girl. Thank you. I love the comment. Thank you for that. I think there were some others here. Let me see. I gotta scroll through these. I know there was something else going on here. I've answered that one. Somebody mentioned they liked the music. It's funny, I've been getting when I had the music, a lot of people didn't like it, but I can't remember who it was, but somebody said they do like the music, so that was kind of funny. And hey, maybe some videos will have the music and some I won't. But we'll see what happens. Actually, this is much better than I don't have to fudge with all the editing, because that can be a pain in the neck too. Okay. Okay, here's somebody. 𝗬ecie Pretorius. How do you know that karma is over? If you think constantly about your runaway husband. Oh, goodness. If emotions are constantly changing, like 8 to 10 years, yes, divorce, but internal affairs hasn't made it official yet. Does the universe want to tell me something? Well, I'm not sure I completely understand your question, or if there's a couple of questions. A runaway husband, though, kind of makes me think to what I was saying to Magnetic Girl. Why is your husband running away? Again, there's this sense of, and listen to how I answered her comment before, there's this idea that when people run away from us, that somehow we have to chase them or convince them to want to be with us again. Again, that's repellent energy. That's not attractive magnetic energy. So we're talking about law of attraction. You want to become attractive to what you want. So if your husband is running away, try to figure out where it is in your kind of energy that's sort of energetically repelling him or causing him to do that. Again, his actions towards you are a reflection of what you have going on inside of yourself in your inner space, right? If emotions are constantly changing. Now, I'm not sure whose emotions you mean, if you mean your husband's emotions or your emotions, but I can already answer that question for you, because if his emotions are constantly changing, that's a reflection of your emotions constantly changing, right? So again, everything that he's doing towards you that you're perceiving is a reflection of how you're doing. So probably your emotions are constantly up and down and constantly changing, and therefore his behavior is reflecting that back to you. So you need to ask yourself, why is that happening? Why are your emotions constantly changing? So that's something for you to get down to. Again, it's not about him or his behavior or changing his behavior. These things are coming up to show you where you have blockages going on, where your perception, your belief about yourself is causing things to kind of be wobbly in your reality, right? So take a look at that. That's very important. Does the universe want to tell me something? That's exactly what it wants to tell you. That's exactly why these situations come up. They're absolutely messages from your inner self, from your higher self, to show you what you need to take care of to move forward and to move ahead, to grow, to expand, right? So as these things pop up, I'll say it again, they are reflections. These pop up as problems or obstacles, but they are reflections of what you have going on inside yourself. And if they didn't pop up and show you that, you would never really know, would you? So again, see them as opportunities to identify what's going on with you inside of yourself, and then to move to kind of tweak your reaction to things and tweak your inner state and look for the feeling of the things that you want rather of what you don't want, and to work on your self-worth and your self-love and improving your image of yourself. Then other people's behavior and circumstances in your life will also improve as a result, because it's like looking in a mirror, frowning and wondering why the mirror isn't smiling at you. How do you get a mirror image to smile at you? You smile at it, right? It's a reflection. It's a mirror. So you have to be the one to change. The mirror doesn't have to change. It's not how it works, right? You have to do it first. I hope that helps you. And I hope I understood your question correctly. So I think was there anybody else? Somebody else, I'm pretty sure. Here's somebody. Okay, 𝗙ص𝗿. Again, I'm sorry with all the names. 𝗙ص𝗿 writes, I'm acting on your advice, and one thing I specifically want to say is that I don't know how, but my mind is remembering old days with her as we were strangers then. I don't know how, but it used to come in my mind suddenly these days. I'm not sure if there's a question in there, or if you're wondering what's going on with that. If you're remembering well, it sounds like you're remembering times you've spent with her, but you say that you were strangers then. So I'm not sure what you're saying exactly, but if that's maybe you can clear it up in a reply to your own comment. But if I'm understanding you correctly, you're having memories of things that didn't happen, or are you visualizing how you want things to be? Are you talking about rewriting the past? I'm a little confused there. But if that's the case, maybe if that's the case, that you're having memories that you can't explain with somebody that you don't really know, or that from a time when you were strangers and didn't know each other, you may very well be plugging into memories that your alternate self in an alternate reality is having. That's and that's something that we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about in a future video, because I know I've gotten a lot of comments from people, please do more quantum jumping and parallel universe stuff, and I plan to. But this is one of those things like when you have deja vu, and maybe that's what you're talking about. Deja vu is the feeling like you've been somewhere before, even though you know you haven't. That is two realities, dimensions bleeding into each other. And so maybe you're plugging into a reality where another version of you, has memories with this person, and you are plugging into that reality. Maybe through your focus and visualization, you're having the memories that an alternate version of you has in another reality. So maybe you are tapping into another reality. And I know that happens a lot, and actually that's an interesting thing to talk about, and I want to do an extra video on that. But I'm sorry, Navdeep, if that's not what you were looking for, or if that's not what you were asking me. I'm a little confused as to your comment, but please, try to clear it up if you want, or let me know if I'm in the ballpark, at least, close to what you were trying to say. Got rejected by a girl, says Greek Warrior. Got rejected by a girl. I thought I already manifested unknowingly after great first date due to my own mess. My own mess. Nothing serious happened, but anyway, can I get a second date somehow with this? Of course, it's very simple. First of all, whatever happened before, you got to forget about that, okay? If you feel like something went wrong or you messed it up somehow, put that out of your mind, forget about it, it's done. So don't focus on the messed up part, focus on the date that you want to have. If you want to have another date with this person, with this girl, in your mind, go into a place and create a scene for yourself where you are part of the scene, not where you're watching yourself like through a movie, like you're watching a movie of yourself, but actually put yourself into the scene. This is a Neville Goddard technique of living from the end. And in your mind, create a scene that implies that you are on a date with this person, with this girl, or that you've just had a date with this girl. This is actually a better way. If you go into your mind and you create a scene where you're hanging out with a friend and you're telling him about this awesome second date you had with this girl, right? And tell him everything that you did with this girl on the date, everything. Did you kiss her? Did you guys hang out? Did you spend the night together? Did you go dancing? Did you have dinner? You had a great dinner. Where did you go for dinner? What did you have to eat? How did she react? Oh, she smiled at me a lot. She laughed at all my jokes. And feel it as if it really happened. And continue to do that as much as you can. And for the rest of the time, don't think about the first date and how it somehow got messed up or how you got rejected, okay? So you want to ignore that completely, and you want to totally just immerse yourself in the visualization and the feeling of having had this second date and it having gone really well, okay? So that's good. That's a very simple kind of way. And again, this applies to everything that you want, including your relationship. You want a relationship with somebody, like an ex. You want another relationship with them. It's the same technique. Visualize things that imply that it's already happened, right? And often those scenes are the most powerful because you don't even have to visualize yourself in the date or on the date, but you can visualize telling someone about the date after it's already happened, which gives you even more of the sense of it having already been accomplished, right? That's living from the end result. So, very good question. All right, I think that's it for today, guys. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for watching, and thank you if you haven't subscribed already and you are new, please hit subscribe. Comment if you want to comment. Everybody that I featured in this video, let me know, if that cleared it up for you. If you have other questions, I'll try to address them. And again, one more time, I am offering one-on-one email coaching now. So please don't forget to check down in the description box. There's my finger. In the description box for the link to manifestation.lab.com. And then there's a link in the top menu that says coaching, I believe. And then, make sure if you are going to purchase a package that you read everything very carefully that's on that page. And also, please consider visiting and joining the Facebook group, and that's also down below, that link. And also down below, you will find a tip jar, a couple of tip jars. One is through a PayPal link, and one is through a Cash App link. So whichever one you feel most comfortable with, if you value this content and you want to leave me a tip, and they're greatly appreciated, then you can do so through either of those links down below. All right? Thank you guys so much. I hope this clears things up for you. And until next time, I love you. Take care and enjoy the rest of your week. What is it now? Tuesday. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week.